Hi, welcome to this fortnight's video blog. Thanks for linking in. The thought for this fortnight is, leaders, be aware of your shadow side. Be aware of your shadow side. This is the fourth in a whole series on the inner well-being of a leader, not so much the external factors, but the inner well-being of a leader, which is so important. And it recognises the fact that all of us have a shadow side, or the unhealthy parts of maybe positive characteristics we have. The unhealthy parts of those can be the shadow side, and we all have them. Let me give you a couple of illustrations in the have you ever kind of category. Have you ever felt bad or aggrieved or even envious at someone else's success? Or on the other side of that, have you ever felt good or pleased when someone else or another organisation or a competitor has a downfall in their life or their business or their organisation? That's part of it. Have you ever been tempted to exaggerate or embellish by adding, a few more numbers on or a few more dollars on than really existed, really just to make us feel a bit more important or a bit better? Have you ever been tempted to or been afraid to like a Facebook post that's worthy of liking because you're afraid that someone else whom you like or you would hope to like you won't like the fact that you've liked that post, therefore you don't do it? You hesitate or restrict yourself in doing that simply because of that. We need to be honest of it to ourselves. We have the shadow side, which is tied up with our ego often and feeding our ego. It's tied up with image management. It's tied up with playing a little fast and loose with the truth sometimes. It's tied up with ignoring or bending reality to make it a bit more like how we would want it to be. It's that shadow side of us which rears its head sometimes too regularly, more regularly than we'd like. And it can be, as I said before, the extension or the extreme of positive and good traits about ourselves. You might be very passionate about getting results in your organisation, but that can mean sometimes bending the truth, or it can sometimes mean fudging numbers just a little to sound better. You might be passionate about having success and significance in your life, but that can mean that you get into self-promotion and image management to sort of boost that success and significance, or the look of success and significance. It's a huge issue for us that we need to be aware of. Jim Collins says the difference of that top-level leader and other sorts, the other levels of leadership, are simply furious resolve and profound humility. Humility and will. Not willpower, but will. C.S. Lewis defines humility as not thinking less of yourselves, but thinking of yourself less. And it's that sort of thing that will help us manage or that shadow side that we have. How do you combat it? We recognise it, we've all got it, we know it's there. How do you combat it? I think firstly you've got to realise that it is there. Unless you're absolutely a perfect human being, which you're not, every one of us will have a shadow side, and we need to realise and be sensitive to the fact that it can rear its head any moment. Sometimes when we're the most successful, it can rear its head. Other way we can combat it is simple reflection. We can simply take time and carve out time in our day if we could, but certainly a couple of times a week to reflect on the interactions we've had or the decisions that we've made, to ask ourselves honestly, have we bent something, the truth, or have we fudged something? Have we allowed that image management to take over those interactions? And not just individual events and interactions, but can we see trends appearing? Is there a trend for something happening that's unhealthy for us? I think another way, and perhaps even as important as any other way, is to get feedback. Is there a friend or a colleague who will have the courage and the strength to tell you the truth about things and about the things you might do? Is there someone, even if you're the big boss, who has the courage to say to you, look, you're going a little too far? Who's someone who wants to see you become the best version of yourself, but has the courage and the resolve to say, look, I think you're taking yourself too far. I think you're getting ahead of yourself. I think you're into unnecessary self-promotion. I think you're building your image more than you should. I think you're being too critical of others. Have you got someone who is courageous enough to do that for you and in you? Because leaders, we need to be aware of our shadow side and how it can at any time just erupt and take over us and build our ego, and so we become someone we don't really want to be. So leaders, be aware of your shadow side. Really important for us, because each one of us wants to get better in the leadership that we have. So thanks for joining today. More next time. Love your feedback on Facebook, LinkedIn, website timhanna.com.au, or on the YouTube channel. Please feel free to link back in and give us some feedback. In the meantime, stay well, stay true, and take care.